Hello readers and writers, I'm MJ and let's talk about 2024 goals. So as booktube viewer, I always like watching other booktubers yearly goals and what they plan to do with their next channel, and now that I have an active channel, I thought that I would do the same at the end of 23, letting you know what to expect going into 2024. So I have channel goals, reading goals, writing goals, and then just some other personal goals to kind of take a look at what to expect coming in 2024. So let's go ahead and start with channel goals. So my first goal is just to keep consistently publishing videos, which doesn't necessarily, may not sound like the most exciting goal, but I have only been on booktube for a few months, like 4 or that, so I haven't been on for an entire year. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of fun, and I'm really loving connecting with people, and I feel like I'm starting to actually meet y'all, and I'm very excited about that. So it's definitely something I want to continue with. I do post 2 long-form videos a week and 3 short-form videos a week. It seems like a pace that I will try and continue with throughout 2024, so that is my goal. Consistency, making sure to be putting out videos twice a week, shorts, and just maintaining that constantly. Provide more content. Of that content, I would like to provide a little bit more writing content, so I would like to do a writing corners video once a month. So I'm definitely building up topics for that. So if you are an indie author or interested in writing, or even if you're a reader interested in some process that I do as a writer, then please put suggestions in the videos below, because I would love to get different ideas for videos of more what you're interested in as opposed to what I just come up with. So yeah, that would be great. My second channel goal is just to connect more with indie authors. So I have an ongoing series called Your Next Indie Read. It has 2 volumes out so far, but I would like to expand that to give more, we'll talk more about it in my reading goals, but one of the reading goals is to read 24 indie books in 2024, and so I want to present more indie authors. Also, as an indie author, I know how hard it is to get your book out there and to get it seen. We just don't have the marketing budget as traditional publishers. So I want to help give other authors, specifically fantasy and science fiction authors, a platform to push their book out to readers to get it seen. So I definitely want to continue working with that, but then also connect with indie authors to read their works and put them on my channel. So I'm not entirely sure completely how this connection with indie authors is going to work, but it's definitely something I want to continue to build on. So for my channel, expect to see a lot of fantasy and science fiction books, a lot of indie books, but I do want to read a little bit more. I want to pick up a few more thrillers, I think, in 2024. I'm feeling the mood for those. Maybe some mysteries. But primarily, I will be reading a lot of science fiction and fantasy. I do have specific reading goals for 2024. The first is that I will be picking an author, and the year will be themed around that author, reading through a lot of their backlog. And in 2024, that author is Ursula K. Le Guin. 2023 was Brandon Sanderson. I will be filming a wrap-up video of that in early next year, so we can see how that went. Brandon Sanderson, it was a year of Brandon Sanderson for everyone, pretty much, so I definitely was not alone in that. Whereas going in to Ursula K. Le Guin, It's going to be a little bit more solo, but I'm very excited for it. If you want to join in, I would love that. I could even make a section on my Discord for us to go and talk about her books. I do not have an official reading plan out, except that to read 24 of her books, I would need to read 2 a month. So it's kind of my tentative goal. There's plenty of her works to do that, and her books tend to be shorter, so I don't think that'll be difficult. I do plan on vlogging it, and so doing an Ursula K. Le Guin reading vlogs throughout the year. So hopefully that will be fun, and a way of kind of including y'all more in that journey. Another reading goal is to read more nonfiction. I did pretty good in 2023. Let me see. I love having all my reading strats on my phone so I can just go look at them. So 2023, currently my nonfiction is at 11%. My goal for 2024 is to read about 20% nonfiction, which I think is fairly reasonable, and is something that I personally am interested in. I've got a lot of nonfiction books to read that I want to read, and I put them off because they take longer, and that's just a really dumb reason, and I don't like that I have that as a reason, so I'm going to stop using that as a reason and just read what I want to, not worry about the quantity per month. I don't have a books read goal per se. I'll probably put in Storygraph in that the same one I had this year, because it's a pretty reachable goal for me without pushing, which is 100 books and 40,000 pages, which is pretty solid for me. I've definitely surpassed that already a fair bit this year, so I think keeping it that way will allow me to track my reading but not make me stress about it. Another goal is to read 24 indie published books in 2024. This is an ongoing challenge I have that I definitely plan to promote more. Now that I have a booktube channel, I did run 23 and 23 indie edition through my Instagram and such, but it's kind of a harder platform to keep up with continual updates on. So I think now that I have a booktube to launch this off of, I'm hoping that more people will join in celebration of indie authors. 24 is a lot. If you cannot read 24, by all means, just some is great. I do have an official announcement video on my channel out for that already, so you can go watch it. It's short. But I personally will be going for 24. Also, I will be doing a wrap-up video for my 23 and 23. So again, that one will be coming out in early January. I'm not pushing them out early because I'm not done reading for this year yet. Still have half of December left to go, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be picking up. So I am waiting until the end of the month before I start even scripting all of that content. Currently, I'm also in the middle of the Read What You Own challenge. I have devoted or set myself a goal of reading 100 books before I purchase any new books. For some reason, I thought this was going to be a cakewalk because I shouldn't be really purchasing new books anyways. Definitely want to get done with the backlog that I have. But I did really good on November. If you want to see the most wild wrap-up, my November wrap-up is very long, but very full of a lot of books. I have never read that many books in a month before. I will probably never do it again, but it was definitely a very good jumpstart to the Read What You Own challenge. I currently, as of the filming of this video, am on 45 books. I do want to finish it before the end of January. I'm not sure how that will go. I tend to read a lot in January, but we'll see. I'm reading longer books now. My kid actually picked out, like, we're doing it was actually the 16 days of Christmas, and my kid went to my TBR shelf and actually picked out 16 physical books for me to read, so I'm reading those in the order that I'm opening them up, and so they're not always fast reads, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been an exciting, fresh way to see these books again on my shelf. So I highly recommend doing that, especially since they're a surprise to me, since I don't know which one they picked. And since they don't understand my books very well, it's been great. They picked a 5th book of a series one time. That was excellent. So highly recommend that as a way to kind of get refreshed with your shelves. Yeah, I'm excited to keep making progress on reading books that I own. Once I finish the Read What You Own challenge, I might do a specific challenge just for myself. We'll see how it goes. But I definitely want to clear off a lot of my physical TBR shelf because I do want to go back to primarily reading via ebook and audiobook. Just because I'm devoting a lot more into, like, using my ebooks. Because I miss that, honestly. And then only getting physical books that I want presented on my shelf. So that's my focus for reading in 2024. I also want to talk about my writing goals. I am writing a series, my very first series. Up until this point, I have written 3 standalone novels because that is what I felt comfortable doing, and I decided it's time for a series. I planned out a 4-book series. It is an urban fantasy series, contemporary fantasy, actually would probably be the correct term, and it's called the Eatontown series. And I have 4 books plotted out. I'm working on the first book now, which will be due for beta readers soon, so if you're interested, please join my Discord. That's in my link tree down below. That'll be the first place I'll announce it. And then I'll also announce it out to my social media. My first book, it's called Lucas. It is very different than, not very different, but it is different than what I've written before. It is queer fantasy, where the main character is a trans man who gets turned into a vampire. But he is not aro ace, and he is not autistic. I will have different rep throughout each character in the book, and each book is going to be focused on a different character. And so I just am really excited with how the series is going to go. There's a potential, if it goes well and people like it, that it will extend past the 4 books. But I wanted to build it in such a way that I know it went 4 books, and then I can take a break and work on another project. I'll probably go back and do something science fiction because I love writing science fiction and I'm feeling a yearning for it. So we'll see how that goes, but then I can always keep working on the series. It is not anything like the Wayward Children's series by Seanan McGuire, but I did kind of model the idea of the book, like the series, around how she developed that series, where each book is built on a main person, and then they kind of plot-wise build around each other, so it can expand out as far as it needs to go. So I'm really, really excited about that. The plan is to write most of all 4 books this year and get 3 of them published. I would like to get 4 of them published, but I feel like I'm pushing myself too far for that goal. We will see how it goes, but for sure I would like to get the first 3 books in the series published this year, and potentially the 4th book publishing early in 2025. The first book is Lucas, and the second book is Phoenix, and The other 2 books I'm not quite ready to announce, but I do have covers for them already, so I'm putting them up here. I'm finding now that I've published 3 books, I have a little bit different way of planning with this series, and it's a fascinating experience. So I hope you enjoy it. I think there will be a little bit more widespread interest with this series than some of my other books, but we will see. In addition to writing these books, I do want to focus more on blogs and short stories. So I have a goal to write 12 different blogs or short stories. My blog is located on my website. It has not been updated in 2 years perhaps, so I want to update it. I will probably publish short stories onto the blog specifically. I don't think I have it connected to the current version of the website. I had problems figuring that out, so I'll definitely need to figure that out before, like, as a first step, but it's still reachable somehow. I don't know. It's just not in the page navigation. I'll fix that. But I definitely do want to work on more short stories and blogs. I do have a short story that is publishing in an anthology in 2024, so I'm very excited about that. It was part of a... it was the winner of a contest and part of a writer alliance that I am part of, and so all of the short story winners are publishing in an anthology. So when I have more information about that, I will give it out. I also have some short stories that are kind of developed off of my books that I would like to polish up and send some of those out, and then also just write some original short stories. I actually started writing as a short story writer and moved to books when I was ready to actually publish something out. So I love writing short stories, and I would like to kind of get back into that. I just don't give myself the time to do that because there's always something being doing with my book. So those are my writing and reading and channel goals. I do have some personal goals for myself. Not all of them I'm going to share on here. I have some like informal TV goals. I do a rewatch of Star Trek with my kid, and we are currently finishing up our rewatch of Deep Space Nine. So we plan to finish that and then move to Voyager after we finish Deep Space Nine rewatch. We don't necessarily do it very fast because we do it when we're together, but we're on season 5 of Deep Space Nine, I believe. And it's just fun. This is the second time we've watched Deep Space Nine together, so it's great kind of going through and remembering it with each other. But then also, obviously I've watched Deep Space Nine more than twice. But it's nice kind of connecting with each other while we're watching it. And then I don't think we've done a Voyager watch together, so I'm very excited about that. You know, have to, I don't want to say indoctrinate them into my love of Star Trek, but, you know. Also, personally, I am doing a rewatch of Stargate. I didn't realize how long it's been since I've watched the television show. I am at season 5, and I may have started 6. I think I'm at season 5. It goes to 10 seasons. Wow, I didn't realize it was on there for that long. So I want to finish rewatching Stargate, and then I'm going to move on to the spin-off. I think Atlantis is next, so I'm going to move off to Atlantis and watch that, and finish my rewatch of Stargate, and that's kind of my personal TV watching plans. Obviously, if anything else good sci-fi and fantasy releases, I will watch it, but this is like what I'm personally planning at the moment. I still want to watch a little bit more movies. I tend to not watch movies because, I don't know, somehow watching a 45-minute television show and you're sitting down for 3 is so much easier than just planning out a movie. But I do want to do more movie watching. Finding good ones. Even now I'm doing like 12 movies of holidays that don't necessarily have to be holiday themed, but I'm just trying to, you know, allow myself to slow down and watch movies when I'm doing other things. And I've DNF'd 2 movies so far. So I've gotta find better movies or rewatch movies that I know I've loved in the past. There's also some personal things going on that are going to be a high priority within my family, and then some plans and transitions for our family that we may end up moving forward with. One personal one is I would like to legally change my name. I will still continue to go by MJ and use MJ, but I would like to legally get away from my dead name. And so that's a big plan for me. Because I can't even get verified on Instagram, whether I want to or not. I don't know, that's another debate, but it's not even a choice without dead naming myself, and so I'm not cool with that. And I've always hated my name, like, this is not a new thing, so it'll be nice to get away from it. I have selected my new name, but I'm waiting for some other things to happen, because as an adult, legally changing your name is very complicated, because it impacts everything, including work and stuff, and so I'm trying to do it at a point where it'll be the least impactful. But yeah, so there's some personal things I do have in the works, some family related that I can't share, and some that I'm not sure if they're going to move through it this year, but I'm hopeful that they will, and if they come up and I'm able to announce them, I will. So 2024 is going to be a great year, I hope. It's probably going to be an interesting year, but hopefully, I don't know, hopefully the world and that moves in a positive direction, because you see the negativity in the world, and you see that there's also the positivity in there, and it's just, we gotta just keep moving forward, keep doing the best that we can, and learning and growing, and that's what I will strive to continue to do in 2024, and do my part to push the world in that direction as best I can. So I appreciate you being here. If you want to continue the journey with me, please make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy for everyone that has joined me in 2023. I know I'm still a really small channel, but I've grown a lot already because you all have been here, and I really appreciate that. I would like to continue to grow in 2024, but when I thought about numbers and such, I decided I didn't want to make a goal with that. I just wanted to connect with people, continue outreaching with people, and do the best that I can, because to me that was more important, specifically from numbers. So that is where I'm going. So thank you. I hope you have a great rest of 2023, and an amazing 2024. I would love to know any goals that you have for 2024. So if you want to put them in the comments, if you are interested in joining in any of the challenges, 24 and 24 Indie Readathon, the Ursula K. Le Guin read along, let me know. We can figure out the best way to communicate that. My Discord is in my link tree, and we can do it through there also. So, as always, keep reading, keep writing, and until next time.